Not at all.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
We're live. I'm Lisa.
I'm Molly.
And we thought we would share our author vision for the year, which, I don't know. I didn't have a vision for last year. Did you, for writing?
I did not. Yet last year was not a good year.
Yeah, I just kept saying I'm going to write, or I would say I really should write, and then
Right.
nothing would happen. So anyway, so we don't want a repeat of last year. So we thought we would actually plan this year out. And if you wanted to plan yours too, maybe that would help. So let me just show you. So here's what we thought we could do today. And if you're here, say hello. We thought we could just do, we're both going to overhaul like what we plan to do versus last year. We want to have better habits. We want to have better systems. And we just want to help you to become the author you know you can be, which for us is just authors who write books, which right now we're just, I don't know, fake authors. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We fell into a hole the last year.
Yeah. So we'll just do a recap, like what went wrong, what went right last year. I don't even think I have a slide for what went right. I don't think you do either. We just have the wrong
I was
slide.
thinking about that. I was like, why didn't we have a slide for what went right? But like I said, last year was crazy. So
yeah. So and then we have a vision board. So underneath us in the description, and sorry, I don't think I posted on Facebook, but in the description on YouTube, there is a link for the vision board. So if you are wanting to create your own vision board, I have 3 different templates in there with like examples, and you can just drop in pictures, type in whatever you want, and you have a vision board ready to go. We're going to obviously share ours. We're going to talk about publishing schedules, and we're going to talk about marketing goals. And honestly, I don't market. I just kind of like hope things work out. And if they don't, then I'm like, oh, I guess the book sucked, right? So I don't know if that's the right strategy. So we're going to talk about some things we can do. And then also writing tools, organization, and just how to get the best out of whatever devices and systems.
Right.
And just, I'm Mac and Molly is PC.
Yes. I used to be Mac, but yeah, I came to the PC side with my designing. We got a few people saying hello too.
Oh, great.
Hello.
Awesome. Hi everyone who's here. Tasha, Shelly. They're from my Planner Pixies group. Jessie.
Jessie's going to the retreat with us.
Oh, nice. Okay, so and then afterwards, we really wanted to make sure everybody knew about the Cozy Club Getaway, because we are getting together in San Diego, and we would love it if you could join. So we're going to go over those details, and also early bird pricing is ending very soon. So if you want to take advantage of that, you definitely want to sign up. And we actually only have 6 slots left. So yeah, so the ones that are gone, they're gone forever.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to just kind of take turns on what went wrong. And I just put some different areas on. So the first one we're just going to go over is time. And you can go first. Yours is first.
Oh, okay. So what or who wasted all your time? Mm-hmm. So my issue was, I think, social media for sure. Facebook, I don't post a ton personally, like on my personal page. I'm not a poster very much, but I am a reader. I will be reading all kinds of random things, and then I'll let reels pop up, and I'll watch one reel after another reel after another reel, and I get just sucked into this vortex. And it has been such a time waste that I put a time limit to my Facebook watching. And then I found out what I did was I would just hit ignore and watch for the rest of the day. So that was not a good solution for me. So I really need to, work out social media, especially Facebook, to not be in my way. I also need to balance my baby Twyla and being with her. I want to be able to do some business and also to be able to play with her during the day. She's 18 months old. So, I don't want her to be raised by the TV while I'm working. So I have some balancing and figuring out that with maybe some family that could help me here and there. So, as far as the solutions, I was thinking, like, my baby actually sleeps in until like 8 or 9. So if I woke up before her, it wouldn't be horribly early and I could start reflecting. And I really like journaling. I don't know if any of you are into journaling, but I've had one since I was 7, a journal. And just to write down my thoughts and organize my day that way really is helpful. And it's been a long time since I've done that. So I think journaling, reflecting, and planning my day out, what I'm going to be accomplishing and how, that's going to help me a ton.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I am definitely like the biggest thing for me is just being on call for some 24/7 clients. So that was just really disruptive just to my schedule and being able to plan. I'm not like, there's a Clifton Strengths called adaptability, which is very much someone who can go with the flow, right? Like, oh, our flight was canceled. And they're like, cool, we'll just go hang out at the bar. You know what? There was something in town I wanted to go see. Let's just like grab our bags and jet over and stay an extra night. Versus me, I'm like in tears. I'm like, oh my God, the flight was canceled. I had 10 things planned for when we land. Now what am I going to do? Right. Like, so I am not go with the flow and spontaneous, like, and you know, someone calls and they're like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I already have a plan for like 2 hours from now and 3 hours from now. So I don't know what you want to do, but we can't do it. And so
Right.
I am not that person. And then also I just love watching TV. Like, I love scripted TV shows. So having the writer's strike and actor's strike was like probably the best thing that ever happened.
That was helpful.
So yeah, so they're like, oh, we're coming back. And I'm like, whatever, don't like stay on strike. I don't even care. Yeah. So I'm just gonna change my schedule up. And I'm gonna try to box in work hours and hit stop. So my biggest thing is like I'll eat a meal like while watching a show. And a show is like 48 minutes, right? Without the commercials when you're streaming it. And like, I'm done eating at like the 10 or 15 mark, but I'm like, oh, well, as long as I'm sitting here, and I'm comfy, I might as well just finish this whole episode, right? Whereas
right.
just push stop. It's not the 80s where like you couldn't do that, where you literally had to watch the whole thing, right?
Plan your commercials out. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more like, it's just like Molly's with the face. I just need self-control to reach out my finger and hit stop.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm like 50-50 so far. It's day 2.
Yeah, you know, I did go to the gym today. I didn't do my reflection with my journal. So that can start tomorrow.
Yeah. You're next.
Okay, so more of what went wrong, right?
Yeah, more of what went wrong. I think we have 3 slides of these.
So this one is to do with like what sucked our energy, what exhausted us. So personally, you know, this last year, I was actually dealing with a major diagnosis of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and that really sucked the energy out. I had no idea going into it what the chemo would be like. My dad went through chemo and everything, but you never know how it's going to hit you personally. And it was awful for like 7 to 10 days after each treatment. I was like in bed. And Lisa, you know, you actually really helped me get out of bed. You're like, you know, let's get treadmills, let's walk, let's, you know, plan things. And like Lisa's saying, she's such a planner. That really helped me to get out of bed and move and feel better. But I just feel so thankful. Like my energy is 100% back. It doesn't always happen with everybody when they go in remission. So I'm in remission. I get checked every few months by the doctor and everything is going great. And I will say that it definitely had an impact on my business. I know some repeat clients and possible new clients were probably like, oh, you know, I don't know how Molly's feeling. I don't want to bother her. But you can totally bother me today. I am totally feeling much better. So last year was just awful with my diagnosis. So now my solution is just, you know, keep moving. That's why I went to the gym today. Like, I feel like I have to go to the gym, you know, it's no longer like, should I exercise or not? So yeah. And eating well for sure. Just to keep my immune system boosted and do whatever I have to do to be healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I feel silly just complaining after cancer, but yeah, it's like, I don't know. You were like the fastest recovery from like a fatal cancer I've ever heard of.
It was several months, but it went by pretty fast. So
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Yes. Great.
Yeah, that's so good. So yeah, so mine's just small, same thing, clients, sick cat. So my solution is just I'm trying out new kitty food. That's all that's on there.
Oh, thank you, Tasha. I see she said that's amazing news. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that. All right. So back to me. What went wrong some more?
Finances. Yeah, I think
Right?
finances, I almost wasn't going to talk about this, but I feel like it's huge. Like we all have money because if we didn't have money issues, I think a lot of us would just write full time if we didn't have rent or bills.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too when we were putting together the slides. I was like, do
Yeah.
we or do we not talk about finances? But I think most people do deal with financial hiccups. And I'm pretty open. I'm an open book. So if it helps someone know, like, yeah, we all have had credit card debt and different things. And obviously, mine was medical bills, couldn't avoid doing that. But the solution is I'm trying to work back up my business. So, for instance, a pre-made covers event that's coming up. So we'll mention that a little more later. But I'm just doing whatever I can to stay busy with business and regain momentum.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, mine was busy for just, I had credit card debt for the first time ever in like years. And I used to always just brag, like, I don't have credit card debt. But I had just been spending money without like checking because I didn't have debt. And I was like, I can do whatever I want. And, I can't do whatever I want. I should be an adult and I should have been saving and not racking up debt. So, and then also with the breakup and going from like sharing all the expenses with somebody to like paying everything on your own was an adjustment. And mostly it was my fault. Like for the first part of the year, I think because I was so annoyed at it, I was like in denial. I was like, it's just not fair that I have to pay all the rent by myself. It is not fair that I have to pay all of my bills by myself. And that's like a very, I don't even know where that attitude came from. And I just ignored it. And then I just kept racking up more debt. So going forward, so the moving expenses too were huge. I know I complained to Molly every day, even though she had cancer. It's like, okay, so while you're sitting there in chemo, I just wanted to complain about my expenses. And so I upgraded from this small apartment to this bigger apartment because I just thought I needed more space. And they wouldn't let me out of the old lease, even though it's the same building and the same people. And so I ended up paying double rent for like 2.5 months. Plus there was a
Awful.
$1,500 fee and then the movie.
Yes.
So it doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you don't have your emergency savings anymore, because I'd spent it. And then also when you have credit card debt, it just kept adding up. And so, and then on top of that, I was like in denial that I even had debt. So anyways, I have accepted that I'm an adult and I'm responsible for myself. And so I am cutting my spending and I'm just going to work more on revenue producing ideas, which this last year I really wasn't. So,
Right.
So that's me. And I think this is our last complaining slide. Yeah, it's our last complaining slide.
And then we get to more inspiring things for all of us to think about. But hopefully what we're telling you about our hardships helps you be like, yeah, I'm not alone. If your last year was an awful year.
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes people, who was it? There was somebody I follow online and she came out with like, oh, I have a revenue spreadsheet for you. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. And her revenue spreadsheet started out with an example. She's like, okay, so every month, let's say you she said only make $20,000 a month. And I was like,
holy cow.
Wow. She's like, here's what you do. And I was like, oh, and I just hit stop. I didn't watch the rest.
Interesting. Yeah. So for branding, am I attracting the right audience? Have I differentiated myself from others? Is my biz scalable? Those are some questions to ask ourselves. Again, I didn't really do anything. So I started out with writing before I did cover designing. And so I do have more than 20 books out in different pen names though. And so if anyone's looking at Molly Burton for my books, I'm not even under that. So I'm deciding, I think I'm going to refresh my own covers since I do that for other people anyway. I could do that for myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And get things under one pen name, at least for my Cozy Mysteries. So that will be good.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so nice if you wanted to be able to do your own designs and your own covers, Molly has a course.
Oh yeah.
Cover course.
cozycovercourse.com. You can put your email in there to get notified of when I'm opening class again. So yeah.
In case you're also like, I would like to save money this year and rebrand, you can just learn how to do it yourself.
That's true. That's true. I get into all the nitty gritty and yeah, the basics too.
Yeah. I think for my branding, it didn't really hurt anything because I did nothing. So it's like, I always think it's funny when people write back into their mailing list and they're like, hey, I'm back. And I'm like, I didn't even know you were gone, dude. Like, I didn't like, it's all on you for being lazy. So it's kind of like the same thing. It's all on me for being lazy and not doing anything. So, I have been posting videos for writers and readers. I think that the thing that I did, so I have another YouTube channel for writing, and it's a author tube channel for romance. And then when I wanted to talk about cozies, I was like, well, the cozy people probably don't want to hear about or romance people don't want to hear about cozies. And so I differentiated my channel based on genre, which is typically what you do for booktube, not for
Right.
authortube. So, but then I was like, I do miss talking about writing. And Molly and I started talking about writing stuff, even though we were doing book club. And so, anyways, I have come full circle to I don't really know what I want to do, but I do know I like talking about mysteries. So I am definitely going to just keep writing in my current series. I was thinking about adding a video podcast. Like I told Molly, I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. And then yesterday I was like, yes, I am going to do this. So again, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
You're back to maybe doing the podcast.
I'm back to maybe doing that because the thing is, I've gone live like how many times was it? I went live 52 times last year on just my other channel, and
that's a lot.
It wasn't though. So it
No.
sounds like a lot, but to me, like going live is not a big deal. It's just like another meeting, right? Like a video meeting that just happens to be broadcast. So I thought, it's probably not that hard to do a video podcast if I'm just doing it live. Like, I just think it's funny when all these people are like, here's how you edit it and here's how you get the best sound quality. And I just think like, who cares? Like, who has time for that? Like, I think the sound is just fine. So anyways, so that is, I don't know if it's my plan, but my plan is maybe not. I'm going to try it out, see if I can fit it in. And if not, then I'll just quit.
And you write under your own name, Lisa Seifert, for your cozies.
Yeah. Okay. I just me. It's just easier. I was going to write under Lisa Latte. And then I just didn't. So
I mean, that's cute too, but I guess we'll both go with our actual names here.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I see. There's my vision board. This is my first one I ever made, guys. So, yeah, probably wondering why I have two piggies. One is for saving. Now it's time for me to start, finishing up, getting on top of bills and saving some money. And then the other pig is for my Psychic Pig Cozy Mystery series that will be coming out. I have the first book written and it's going to be under Molly Burton and it's Death at the Pig Pageant. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of those, but they're real pig pageants and they will have tiaras. So I thought that really inspired me to have a psychic pageant pig princess. So she's going to be, in one of my series coming up. And then there's a black cat there because I do have a current series under Lily Graves. And it's about a cat shifter. So it's a cozy mystery as well. And it's paranormal, of course. So she shifts between being a black cat and a girl or a 23-year-old. So yeah, there's that. I'm going to continue these two series this year. I'm going to push out some books. So it's been over a year or so since I've had a book release. So that's my goal, is to work on those. And then also we see up in the top left, that's San Diego, because I'm really looking forward to the Cozy Club Getaway with Lisa and some of you. So I'm envisioning, having a nice getaway. And let's see. Yeah, write, edit, publish. Now above write, edit, publish, and that stamp of a book open is those rocks that you balance like at the beach. That is symbolic of balance. I really need so much more balance in my life. So I'm going to manifest that. And to the right, I have a healthy drink to start my day. And below that, a woman holding books with a megaphone. That is symbolic of me advertising. I have not advertised in years. I actually came out in 2011, started publishing on Amazon, and I had a really good time, and I actually did pretty well. And but I advertised, and so I need to put some in my piggy bank for advertising my books. And then I got a couple words under that. Fearless. I'm going to make sure I'm not doing analysis paralysis. I'm going to be more fearless with my job. And then finish as well. So I'll put out a goal I intend to finish. So yeah.
Oh, we had a couple things on the stream. Tasha, you're such a good friend. Such a good friend that I call Molly and just make her listen to all my complaints. Starry, have you worked out a plan to deal with medical bills along with all of your other bills this year? How can you make it not feel so overwhelming?
Oh gosh.
I mean, I don't know that Molly actually, I mean, she said she has the pills, but she does not need help. Like even with the cancer, like this year, like I'll be like, oh, I really wish I could pay off my 40,000. She's like, oh, I just paid that off on one of mine last month. Or like, I'm like, oh, I really wish I could lose 40 pounds. She's like, I just lost 40 pounds. Like she's like really quick, like things that I need to plan for and think about and like focus on. She's like, oh, I just did that because I just woke up and I thought about it and it's done.
Well, she says all that, but she's really inspired me with my business. Like Lisa is fun to talk to and walk with, exercise with, and all that. But she gives me ideas. She told me I should put out a cover design course, and I was like, really? Like, would people even want that? So she's like, no, you should do that. And Lisa makes courses, and she's very technical. She knows all kinds of different things that I don't know about computers and planning. And so she's just helped me come up with ideas that have helped. So yeah, that's what I would say. I've come up with new ideas for some income like the course. And I did a Cyber Monday deal. She's like, why don't you do a Cyber Monday thing? I'm like, I've never done one of those before. Like, what do I even do? Like, okay, I guess so,
Yeah. I mean, that's a great question, but really Molly is not overwhelmed. She has it all together. And like suggestions. I am very much a know-it-all, like bossy friend. So I'm just lucky that Molly's very like flexible. It's like, okay, well, thanks for that idea, crazy, but I'll think about it. So, hey, Mary. And Tasha, Molly doesn't mess around. Yeah, she does not. She like just got stuff done. Like there is no dilly-dallying. So,
yeah,
all right.
So that's my vision board.
So for mine, I of course did a vertical one. So I don't know why. I just really like vertical slides, even though this whole setup is set up for like horizontal slides. But mine is the writing retreat too. So very excited about that. Meeting friends, meeting new people. I think the biggest challenge for me really has been like I'm used to traveling all the time. And with the agoraphobia and the anxiety and panic attacks, I've really just been stuck here. So, it's like a blessing that Molly is willing to travel here and that other people are willing to travel here. Because I do want to meet people and I like going out and like talking to new people and expanding the whole cozy mystery author circle. So, and then the book is because I want to write more. And then it says eat more fruit. I don't know why it looks like cat more fruit. Cat does not need fruit. Cat does not like fruit. I just want to eat more fruit. And lift more weights. I've been really, really into running this year or last year. And so I'm trying to get back into lifting as well. And then being debt free. And then I really want to learn how to draw. I feel here's my prediction. And this is more like a 2025 like trends. I think everybody and their brother this year is going to waste so much time on AI. There's like this huge FOMO right now, and it's like Russian roulette. So if you ever have used any AI tools, you put a prompt in there and you hope something good comes back, right? Like,
true.
Draw me a witch, in the moon with a cat and in a small, cute, cozy town, right? So you're expecting this amazing cover.
Right.
Sometimes you get something weird. Sometimes you get a witch with 5 legs. I don't know.
Right. Like, their eyes are all distorted.
Yeah. But sometimes you get things that are really pretty. It's so random. And then if you need to make another cover, good luck with getting the same colors and look and feel and everything else.
I don't even know if you can get the same character in a different pose by trying that.
Yeah, you can ask for it. I don't know how well it does it. So I just feel like everybody's going to waste all of their time on AI. They're not going to be really happy with it. And then I think the pendulum's going to swing back. And like, I want to be ready in a year from now and I want to be able to draw. So like, I've been drawing, I really like drawing maps. I know that sounds silly, like those cute little maps that you see.
For like a cozy town.
Yeah, like a cozy town. And it it's like not to scale like Google Maps or anything, but like it's like a map, and then it has like trees, and then maybe the post office here. Like, I think people are going to want more hand-drawn real things where they can get exactly what they ask for. So that is my secret plan, is I'm going to spend, because I do lettering. I love lettering. But
Right.
I think I'm going to expand that
And you
into
took
drawing.
calligraphy
Yeah.
courses, right? And
Yeah, so I
yeah,
don't want to draw. Well, I can't draw people. I wish I could. Maybe I'll work on that too this year. But yeah, so that's everything. And then my word of the year is discipline. Um, just because I know what it needs to be done, I just don't do it. Right. So
oh, right,
that's
right.
that's it. And then, so I actually have a second advisory board, because I do watch so much TV. I'd like to think too, like, oh, it's going to help me with my writing. I don't know if that's really true, but if I was like thinking about, because I've done writing coaches in the past, and not that they're not helpful, but to me, it's more just like, I think it's just another person to talk to and chat with. And so it's not like they're going to force me to write, right? Or help me or motivate me really like with that. So I'm
Right.
more motivated by like things that I like. So for Shoot the Moon, I really like the Gina LaManna books. I think all of her series are amazing. She's an indie author, and she's always cranking out books. Like, I think she has like, I don't know, 20 kids. Every time I see a picture of her, it's her and like 5 or 7 children or something.
Nice.
So she's busy and she's still able to write books. Same thing with like, I don't know if anyone remembers Courtney. She used to be on this channel, Protagonist. And same thing. I was like, I can't do book club with you anymore because I don't have time to write. And it's funny because after I quit book club, I didn't write a thing. So I don't know, like clearly that wasn't my problem. But also Courtney in the meantime had 2 kids, and she has a full-time job, and she just started a podcast. So it's not, I think it's more just a matter of just, again, discipline, like doing what you need to do versus just being
Yes,
like, oh, I
exactly.
don't have time.
Discipline over motivation
Yeah.
for us.
I
Makes
love the
sense.
Sex Lives of College. I love Mindy Kaling. She is a TV writer, and she also has her own imprint over at Amazon. But I just like how she like puts characters together. Same thing with that. I don't know if anyone's watched that new TV show, So Help Me Todd. But it's really cute. It's like, it's almost like a cozy mystery. He's an investigator. His mom's a lawyer, and they're like polar opposite. Like, so you have the family dynamics.
Right.
But I also, at the same time, I really like when things are fast paced. So sometimes for me with cozies, especially, they're just too slow.
Yeah.
And they're not slow where they're fun, where we're doing something with female friendships or fun family dynamics. Sometimes they're just kind of boring. And so I do like thrillers that are a little more fast paced. So
Mhm.
this is what I'm watching on TV. And also, these are things that like I'm looking at as my like writing style for my like author advisory board, like who I'd like to emulate.
Nice.
Yeah. And publishing schedule. Oh, was mine first? Where's yours?
Um,
Oh, there's yours.
yours.
Okay. I feel like I'm just doing a lot of chat. So these are the next 3 books. I actually have had these covers for, I'm going to say like 3 years. I haven't done anything with them. So this is my plan. I'm trying to do weekend writing, just because writing every single book I read. So you should do this too. Like, if a book says, and I kept reading all these books on productivity, and they're all like, you must write every day. And so I just felt really bad because I couldn't do it. And what can I do every day? I can work out every day because I like working out, and I just always
Mhm.
make it a priority. I can't write every day. It like disrupts my pattern from going to being creative to doing HR work, to doing client work, to doing like things for my YouTube channel. It's just, my brain doesn't work like that. And again, it's because I like structure. So I've decided that I'm going to be a weekend writer. So because I'm a weekend writer, what I've done, and because I like planning stuff, this is
Oh, nice.
Saturday and
Yeah.
this is Sunday. So like I know every Saturday, like actually these are reversed, but either way, I know I like running. And then right after running, I like to go get groceries, only because I usually get groceries every other day, which I know sounds crazy, but like when I get groceries for the beginning of the week, one, they usually go bad by the end of the week, or the vegetables taste kind of wilted or blah. And Whole Foods is only like, I think 1.5, 2 miles from my house. So it's not a big deal for me to go to the grocery store.
Right.
And because of my anxiety, I'm supposed to leave the house twice a day anyway. So this is my other trip out. So anyways, then I can stock up and then come back home and then just write all day. And so that's what I'm planning for both Saturday and
Wow.
for Sunday.
Nice. 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., huh?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, and then in theory, so I haven't, because I am trying to save money. So, food delivery is expensive, right? So, if I get something from the Cheesecake Factory, which is pretty normal for me, I'll get an appetizer because God forbid I don't. And then I'll get a meal. And then, of course, because it's a Cheesecake Factory, I'll get a slice of cheesecake.
Right,
So,
right.
and then you pay the delivery fee and everything. So, that'll be like $65, right?
Hmm.
Versus like getting groceries, I can get something pre-made at Whole Foods for like say $15. Or even getting stuff at something at Chipotle, it'll be like $12. So that's my new
Yes.
plan to do.
Yes, that sounds good. Also saving you money. Love
Yes.
it. Huh.
And now it's yours.
Let me see. Okay. So cover's coming soon. So I actually made this cover over a year ago. I might update it again. But there's the little psychic pig, and she's a pig whisperer. So that means that they could communicate together and solve a murder that happens surrounding a pig pageant. So that's it's already written. I just need to revise it. So anyway, for book one, I have, within 3 months, I want to have that revised, edited, and published. Um, and then for the next one, I'd like August to be published, and the third book December. So I used to, when I had like writing full time, I would like push myself really hard. You hear a lot of indie authors, pumping out, a book every other month or whatever. And I was kind of like that. I was really pushing myself hard, but I really enjoy my cover designing. I really enjoy working with other people. And so I'm going to balance doing 3 books in a year, and the first one is already pretty good to go. I just need to get on it. So then beyond that, what I want to do is so there's a Zoe and Claire series that I have written. And there's 8 books in that. And what I want to do is refresh those covers. And yeah, so 2 months to refresh covers. So in what is it, January, February? So March I should have my 8 covers all done over, revamped. And then what I want to do is re-release them 1 book at a time each month. And I'll see, also what might need some revision in them because it's been a while. I'm better at what I do. I'm a better writer, right? Like in time we all improve. So I'll be reading through them again and just making sure they're at their best. Yeah.
Yeah, that just reminded me I was supposed to send you that thing I was looking for. Okay. And your marketing goals.
So for marketing, like I was in the loop years ago with marketing, and I read up all about it, and I was doing it and I was doing well. And then life happened, right? And I fell off the wagon. So I'm going to get back on the wagon. I'm going to get back to paying for ads. I feel like I need to budget this in. And it has basically, always given a return on my investment. So that's what I want to make sure to do is start paying for ads again, whether that's, BookBub and Facebook and Amazon ads. Those are the 3 that I want to focus on. And then the other thing is growing my newsletter for writers. So the thing is, like with my cover design group, I have over 900 people in my group, but barely anyone sees my posts. And so now I just need a new strategy. And people have talked about it for a while where you need to rely more on a newsletter because you never lose that. And people either want to open your message or they don't, but at least they get it, right? So I'm going to be offering deals and special events through my mailing list only to people who are following me that way. And yeah, I'll also need to grow a newsletter for my readers. And I had over 5,000 contacts for readers at one point, and then I just stopped doing newsletters for a while with life and everything, right? And so if I were to write them today, they'd be, what? You're still around? So I need to focus more on managing that friendship too. So learn more about social media. So as you all know, I'm pretty addicted to Facebook, like reading it, but I don't have a super good knowledge of marketing through there. I did do Facebook ads before for books, and it did actually do okay. So I know it can work. And then TikTok is that other one I want to focus on. Instagram, I have an account. I've never once posted except for like the Cozy Club Getaway. I am learning to post. So it seems though TikTok looks even more intriguing to me. I don't know about you all for marketing anyway through social media. I know Lisa, you're like, I don't care about TikTok.
I don't. I wish it would be banned.
And then I need a new author website like mollyburton.com. I need to snag that. So yeah, that's my marketing goals for 2024. Get some paid ads and get my website up, get my newsletter going.
Good. So I have a focus on free only. I don't know if I'm predestining myself by saying I'm cursed with paid ads. I think I just don't like them. I think they're silly. And I paid for tons of coaching and courses. And like, I've even bought, I won't say names, but I've even bought like $1,000 and $1,500 and $2,000 courses that are out there on how to do ads for your book.
Wow.
And every single time I have done them, it hasn't worked. So then, because, after I've spent thousands of dollars, why not waste more? I was like, you know what? I need to hire a one-on-one coach to like meet with every week to like review my ads and go over them. And I did that too. Same thing. Like I will spend, what happens is like, let's say for BookBub, I'll spend $1,000. I'll try to spend $1,000 because sometimes like you can't spend the money because not enough people are looking at it. So it's not being picked up enough. So even if I advocate, like I'm going to spend $1,000, BookBub won't even take the money because they're like, yeah, your book's so not even popular. No one's even looking at it. So anyways, all of these strategies that I'm doing in Amazon ads, Facebook ads, Instagram, even TikTok ads, YouTube ads, they just never panned out. So for me, I just have decided I'm just going to focus on organic. And so I don't know if it'll work or not work, but that's my plan going forward. Newsletter, I finally have a template that I really like. So if you're on my mailing list, you'll know that there's this pretty template. And I really like it, one, because it has some structure to it, and two, because I don't have to say a lot. Right. And so I feel like as authors, sometimes people feel like they need to give a big update. And most of the time people are just like, quit writing the stupid newsletter and just write your book, lady. I'd want to read the next book.
Or tell me what deal there is or what your next plans are.
Yeah.
I don't need a whole, yeah.
And it always cracks me up too. Just as a reader, like when people are like, oh, this is on sale. I'm like, whatever. So it's on sale from $4.99 to $1.90. Like I could care less. Like unless it's like $499 to like $1.90. Like I'm not gonna jump up to save $3, right? Unless it's a latte at Starbucks. Otherwise, like I could care. I just never get excited by book deals. Plus, most books are free, like usually through your library or through like Everand or Kindle Unlimited. So anyways.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. I guess for me as a reader, that's my theory. So, and I'm migrating my site. Right now it's on WordPress. I'm going to migrate it to Squarespace. I'm going to revise my branding. I've had the same colors for like 4 years now. And also I'm going to focus more on tech tools. So, when we were planning out the author Cozy Club Getaway, I told Molly, I was like, we just need to do tech stuff. She's like, yeah, no. And I was like, well, that's all the people want. And I don't know. I don't think that's true, but I think for sure that's clearly something I'm really excited about doing. So I'm going to create just a section on how to use tech tools. And then also maybe or maybe not the author YouTube podcast. And the only reason I'm doing a podcast because I do think podcasts are dumb and awful and terrible. And like, I do think they're like punishment because like,
wow.
When I was growing up, we were too poor to fly. So we drove everywhere. And like when you're doing a road trip and you go through a tiny nowhere town, there's nothing to listen to but AM radio.
That's
and so
true.
When I think of like listening to a podcast, I'm like, I'm being punished, like because I'm too poor to afford. So that's why I never listen to it. But now that YouTube has YouTube podcasts where you can do video podcasts, I'm like, well, at least that way people are kind of entertained because they
it's
can like
a little more involved.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. Either way, that's my plan. Just to focus on new releases.
Well, and just to say about the tech tools, I think it's something that makes our lives easier if only we would learn those things, right? So that's something, yeah. Oh, and what is Starry Night is saying a couple things here.
She said, I've also had learning how to draw at the back of my mind for a long time, purchase courses and books and drawing materials I need to crack open. Yeah, that's okay. That's what this new year is for. Mary, I totally need bossy friends. I don't know if you need bossy friends. I don't know, Molly. How do you like having a bossy
Oh
friend?
my gosh. No, you know what? Like, Lisa does have a lot of good opinions. And so when she's telling me, why don't you try this or why, blah, 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 it's very hard for me to find any justification to say no to her ideas. I'm just like, actually, you're right. This makes sense. So that's how it is. Like if you have a bossy friend that you align with, I wouldn't call her totally bossy though. She's just fun to hang with, and she shares her thoughts, and I share mine with her too.
Let's see. I commend both of you for finding ways to reproduction in spite of illnesses. It is inspiring. Yeah, I mean, definitely, Molly. I had the flu for like the last month, and like even like talking, I was like, I can't make it. I can't do it.
Yeah. You've had a really long sickness going on.
Yeah,
the
like
holidays
very
too.
All right. So, here's me, future me, drawing maps.
Drawing maps, yes.
Yeah. I was going to say this too. So social media, if you haven't taken a look lately on like which platforms are useful, I hate when people are like, go where your people are. I don't know where my people are. They're everywhere. And they're sometimes in random places for different reasons. Right. I put little hearts in the places I want to be. And Facebook groups, Molly wanted to start a Facebook group forever. And I was like, don't do it. It's stupid. And so finally I was like, okay, we can start a Facebook group. Because she was right. People like authors like being on Facebook. I definitely love being on YouTube. I like being on Instagram. And the rest are just like, forget about it. I mean, Facebook groups are still free.
So many.
Yeah. I think Discord and Slack suck. And the other ones that like I've been on Circle, Mighty Networks, Heartbeat, and they're all expensive. And even when Courtney and I moved from a free Facebook group over to Patreon, we lost like 1,000 people almost. So because no one wanted to move.
Right.
So that's my strategy. And TikTok, I hate TikTok. So here's the thing. I don't know if anyone has anyone started using Lemon8?
I never even heard of that before.
Yeah, nobody's heard of it. So Lemon8 is owned by the same people as TikTok, and they started it a couple of years ago because they were really worried about TikTok being banned. And I don't know who they think they're fooling, right? Like no one's going to figure out that it's the same exact company. But I guess they're thinking the whole process to ban one app is going to take a long time. And then in the meantime, if TikTok gets banned, then they'll have Lemon8. I actually really like Lemon8. It's like a Pinstagram kind of feed. I don't know. It works kind of like I don't know. I just find it better.
Oh, so it's not exactly like TikTok. It has its own
kind of. You can still do a profile. You can have links in there. You can edit things on the app. It doesn't have stories. And they say it appeals more to Gen Z and millennials and women. Right now I'm just using it. I haven't like created anything for it. But you can make collections, and anyways, I might be on Lemon8. I might be the only one, but I actually just genuinely
well, we'll
like
see.
Lemon8.
We'll see next year.
Yeah.
Looking back,
well,
is this something that's taken off?
Yeah. Well, here's what I do like about Lemon8 that's different than Instagram. So with Lemon8, it actually shows up on SEO search results, just in like Google search results. And that doesn't happen with Instagram or TikTok.
Right. That does happen with Pinterest, which is why it's similar to that, though, too.
But for some reason, Pinterest is like dying. I don't know. I just feel like I've been doing Pinterest. I paid for like Pinterest people to like pin stuff and create pins for me. Just never worked out. So anyways, I might be on Lemon8. So I'm just throwing it out there in case anyone else is like, I hate TikTok, but I'm looking for something else. You might like Lemon8.
Right.
Oh, and writing tools. So you can go.
Oh, okay. So like, I only have a couple. It's super simple with how I work. I work in Google Docs. I don't even work in Word because it's always saved right there, right through your emails Docs app. So I never have to worry really about losing what I'm writing. That's one plus, right? And so, yeah, I'll outline there. I'll write there. I've co-written through there. Other people could comment on your work there. Live, you could see what they're saying or typing. I really like Google Docs. And then for Vellum, I use Vellum for formatting, and I did upgrade to be able to do paperbacks as well through there, which is super nice, right? If your document, now I do have to use Word to like save my Google Doc to a Word doc to put it into Vellum, right? But if you have it formatted pretty easily, well, it will just make that print book for you in a cinch. So I love that. But for the future, learning more tech stuff would be nice. Like, I use WordPress, and I already, for my, like my cozycoverdesigns.com, I already feel limited, like with what I'm doing there. And I'm a little lost too. So I just need more knowledge in general about website platforms. I've used Wix for lilygraves.com, because, they have the free side of that. I think a lot of authors have tried Wix. But yeah, and for the future, I'll continue using Vellum for my formatting. Nothing else has been better than that for me. So yeah.
Okay, cool. And I will say this too, the reason I chose Squarespace was just because it was easier. So I've always been on WordPress, and then WordPress, I would put it on as a host. I would use WP Engine, which is kind of like the Cadillac of hosting platforms, but it's so expensive. And so with Squarespace too, like WordPress, WP Engine's so nice. Like when you have problems, they'll help you troubleshoot it. And Squarespace, though, it has everything all built in. So I want to say it's a little bit more expensive than WordPress. So like WordPress, WP Engine, it's like maybe $200 to host a site versus Squarespace is like $270 to host a site.
Okay.
So it is expensive, but at least there's like a help desk. And when I write to them, they like get back to me right away. Because sometimes when you make a website in WordPress, you're just like on your own. And like I used to have WooCommerce, and yes, it's free, but like when something goes wrong, who can you call? You can call nobody, right? Because you're going to call somebody and they're going to be like, oh, I think it's the hosting. And then the hosting's going to be like, oh, I think it's your theme. And then the theme's going to be like, oh, I think it's this plugin, right? And like everyone's pointing fingers and you're like, somebody just fix it. So
Right. It's so hard to get down to. I just have not updated my website in a few years in general for my cover design business. I just let it be because I'm afraid to like touch it and mess it.
Well, yours is built on Thrive themes. And yes. I definitely find Thrive themes difficult to use. I looked at it and I was like, forget it. So I think it's right up there with just like, it's hard to figure out. So, but yeah, I pretty much use the same tools as you. I use Google Docs, store everything on Google Drive, Microsoft Word, forget it. Like having to hit the save button, you lose stuff on your desktop. I use Vellum for formatting. I actually use Google Sheets. So there's a bunch of like trackers out there, like fancy trackers, and you can pay for them and like fancy. It is very easy for me to have a super easy, like idiot proof, like tracker on Google Sheets, like starting word count, ending word count, what date. And then I just subtract between the two. And I know I wrote 300 words that day. And then as you go down the column, I can see what my total word count is. Like it's so much easier. And I've tried so many other things. This is the best one. And I do find it motivating just to look at the numbers and fill it out. So
Right.
I always said I hated Scrivener. Mostly I hate Scrivener. I hate Atticus. I hate what else is it? There's another one, Ulysses.
Plotter? No.
Well, the reason I hate them is because I love them because I'm like, oh, this is going to be so great. And then what happens is they'll say, I'm going to sync your document across multiple devices. And 100%, all of them fail except Google Docs. And that's why I write in Google Docs.
Okay.
You'll write something in one. I even had screenshots I sent to Atticus and they like gaslit me. They're like, we don't know what you're talking about. You're the only person I've ever had an issue with. Everybody else uses the platform perfectly. And I'm like, okay, then just forget it. So, and it's so sad because Atticus is really pretty. It looks just like a cross between Scrivener and Google Docs. So anyways, because of that, because I can't trust them, I am just using Scrivener. I do like that Scrivener has the ability to like move things around more modularly, but I don't trust it either. So what I've done now is I have one laptop. I used to have two, but now I just have one. I don't write anything on my desktop, my iPad, my phone. I don't try to sync between devices. I only write
Mhm.
on the laptop. That's it. And
Well,
so
and
that's
one of my friends actually, when she had a baby, she said that she was using her her telephone. We're from the 80s, 90s, okay? Cell phone, and she would speak into it and or type into it
Mhm.
and just write. If she had nothing else to do, her phone was her backup, and that's totally fine. Get some
Yeah.
words in.
And then I would like to sell things on Shopify and Klaviyo. Like I would like to help other authors. I don't know how that's going to work. Because like I always tell Molly's really good at one-on-one client work, and I'm always like, oh, fire that person. Just give them a refund. That just sounds ridiculous. I don't know. And so I'm clearly not good at clients. So maybe I just design stuff, and maybe Molly's the client interface. I don't know. But I feel like I can help people build their author website on Shopify and start their newsletter with Klaviyo.
Right, right.
I just don't want to talk to them. So we'll try to figure something out. If you want, so today only, I'm offering 50% on the author resource library. So inside of there is a 100-page author business plan. So I always say Molly and I have, I want to say, I used to remember that term girl boss that used to be really popular. So
Yeah.
we both are running our own businesses and we're authors, but we are like, there's two different types of author businesses. There's one where 80% of your revenue comes from your books and maybe 20% comes from like merch or like, selling a box or whatever. We're the other one. 80% of our revenue comes from Molly does cover designs, I do planner designs, and then I would say maybe 2% of my income comes from my books, right? And so that's like how I keep my book writing hobby alive. So inside of there are business plans for both of those scenarios, whichever one you want, as well as
Nice.
like a ton of different resources. So if you want that today, it's 50% off. There's a link in the description. Also, Molly, I'll let you talk about this. She has an event
Oh,
coming.
sure. Yeah, so I'm going to be having my first pre-made cozy cover event in years. I think the last one was like before 2020. It was a while ago. So I released a ton back then, and everyone snatched up, like the timer goes off at my website and people were snatching as fast as they could. And it was so much fun for them and for me, of course. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm trying to build back up with my business better. And what better event, more fun can we have than to have a pre-made cozy cover event? So there will be multiple series of covers you can choose from. And it will go live for you to purchase. It will be on February 3rd, 2 p.m. PST. Yeah, at cozycoverdesigns.com. So yeah, that's a Saturday. I try to put it at a pretty good time frame for people in different areas. And yeah, just follow along, and we can have some fun there with some inspiring themes and covers for you.
Are you running it like an auction or is it just first come,
No,
first served to buy it? Okay.
yep, it will just have like buy now on each individual one, and they'll snatch it up. And I'm actually considering letting my newsletter people get in it a little earlier than everybody else. I really want to cultivate that newsletter. So if you go to cozycoverdesigns.com and you go under, contact or more, it will show a drop down under more, I believe, of the newsletter. Click that and sign up there. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. And then, Karen's here. Inkpot is Karen.
Oh, hello.
Tasha, Lisa, I know this is off topic, but Llama Life is on sale today. Oh, yeah. For anyone that's interested, thank you for sharing this with me. I love Llama Life. So Llama Life is this app that allows you to put all of your tasks for the day in, and it does a time estimate. Anyways, it's on sale. They have like a lifetime deal. It's my favorite app in the world.
Nice.
All right. Oh, and then, so if you want to stay, if you're still here, thanks for staying. We are now switching over to talk about the Cozy Club Getaway, and we'll do it quickly because I know we've been here for an hour. And we'll talk about who this is for, what's involved, when it is, because I never made a sales page, which is my fault. So we'll just do a live stream of the sales page. You want to go?
Sure. So, cozy mystery writers, right? Anybody who's current or up and coming with their writing, you don't have to have a book out yet, or you could have 20 books out, whichever is the case. And it's for both contemporary or paranormal cozy writers. We're going to be hosting some cozy chats and just talking about either scenario, and you'll have friends there that are writing under either scenario or both. It's for those seeking the sisterhood experience. There will be, other fun women there as well in the same genre, looking for the same ideas, and it'll be great. So it says loves afternoon tea outings. We'll be having afternoon tea, a relaxing coastal cozy setting. It's right by the beach, right there, and relaxing wanting dedicated writing time. So we'll also be having. You can have some private time back at your place, or you could be writing with us at a cafe during one of the days. We're going to have a formal writing day with, lots of fun.
And as you can see in this picture, Molly is, I know in these videos, it seems like we're the same height. Or maybe I'm taller, right? But Molly is like a tall supermodel skyscraper, and I am like just the average 5'4" height.
I'm basically 5'11", but I can pull off saying 5'10" because I'm like a quarter of an inch below 5'11". So
isn't it funny? She would rather be short. I would rather say I'm like 6 foot tall. I would love to be tall. Even my old roommate in Chicago was also 6 foot. So
wow,
I'm just always used to being around tall people. So this isn't for nonfiction writers. We just want to make sure that's the same thing. Also, we're not doing a lot of cocktails. Neither of us drink. And not because like we're anti-alcohol, just like we just don't drink. So we didn't have any of those kind of outings. Instead, we have like hot chocolate and we have tea. And we think those are fun. And we don't have we looked at an all-inclusive. So it's not an all-inclusive. So you will be responsible for getting like your own hotel, or like we can pair you up with somebody else who's coming if we want to look for a roommate. We also both really like food. So if you're on a diet or you're like looking for salads, this is not probably not it.
The area is super walkable, and there's different places we're meeting up at.
So lots of eating, lots of drinking. Okay, so we'll go through the days. You want to go through them?
Sure, yeah. So day 0, we're calling it. That's April 8th. That's when everyone's flying in, probably, right? The 9th is our start day. But that night, day 0, April 8th, we'll get together that evening. We'll have like an informal like hi, and here's a swag bag, and here, let's enjoy our drinks together. And it will be at like a bar and grill that's next to the beach. Potentially that's what we're considering. And so right after we are hanging out for a little while together while people are coming in, we will go out for our first, and maybe only beach walk as a group.
Yeah.
There for you guys whenever.
Yeah, because I feel like every time people come here, they're like, I want to go to the beach. Like, that's the first thing. So we're just going to get it out of the way. You can get to the beach day 0.
Right. So, yeah, there was the beach.
Yeah. You can go.
Okay. So afternoon tea, it's going to be at this formal British afternoon tea kind of a setting. And there will be, the tiers of different little desserts or hors d'oeuvres. So that will all be provided for you. We're paying for that. And we'll just be chatting and also doing, I think, kind of like a more getting to know you kind of event also while we're there together.
You can keep going on those.
Oh, you want me to keep going? Okay. So also on day 1, we'll get right to our first craft chat where Lisa is going to be hosting this one about the ultimate cozy mystery toolkit. And I like to tell people that what Lisa provides actually is really good information about resources is what I mean. She's taken so many different courses and learned so much, and she has pulled together all these resources that make for a great cozy mystery toolkit. And she's going to be sharing with us that. We'll also be having a workbook for that week, and we'll learn about contemporary and paranormal a little more. So So day one is not done yet. We're going to be going to Old Town in San Diego, and that has a really fun Mexican theme. There's an outdoor setting where there's usually a live band and we eat together. And this one is a pay on your own thing, and there's an optional ghost tour. It's a trolley tour, and it's pretty cool. Ghosts and gravestones. So you can look into that if you'd like. But yeah, it will be stopping at a cemetery and a museum and different things, and talking about like the culture behind different ghost stories that have happened in the area. And then this one is also going to be hosted by Lisa. This is on day 2. We're going to be, she's going to be leading the discussion on Shopify 101 for authors. So I know a lot of people are getting into not just selling on Amazon, they want to sell on their website as well. So this is pretty cool beyond Amazon. Okay, so then I will have mine that afternoon to talk about cover conventions with you. You could ask me anything there. I'll go over cover design trends with contemporary versus paranormal, like different colors, fonts, etc. And some people like to come to me and be like, well, what about historical? And what about pets? And what about so many different type of subgenres? We could talk about it. So, and then we can break for lunch. There's this whole little area around there that you can super close walking distance. I'm talking, you do not have to be walking for a mile or more to get to different places. So yeah, the productivity workshops. Then later that afternoon with Scrivener, customizing your workspace. Oops.
Yeah. That's obvious. I mean, everyone knows Scrivener.
Okay. And then I'll get into about like mastermind groups, like how you can create your own, that I've like done that before in the past, and also how to co-write with other people, because I've also done that with people. And then dinner is going to be Italian that evening. This one is we're paying on our own, so yeah, and you don't have to dress up special for it. It's super relaxed there. Day 3 is really our big writing day together. So we'll have some Pomodoros where we'll be timed and we'll have breaks and we'll be at a cafe. We'll be snacking together, sitting together, just, yeah, having fun there. And then the evening of day 3 will kind of be, oh, wait, not the evening. Where are we?
The walk in the park afterwards. I accidentally.
Okay. So there's a beautiful park, Balboa Park in San Diego, that we'll be going, doing like a walk in the park together. There's a museum and botanical gardens. Just, yeah, get some fresh air and some steps and go outside together. And for the final evening, we're going to be having like a farewell evening over at Lisa's place. We'll have lots of pizza. We'll be having, we're considering a s'mores charcuterie board, and which includes all the chocolate and more chocolate. And yeah, we'll be providing all of that. So it'll be kind of our hangout before our goodbyes.
Yeah. And then what did Karen say? The retreat sounds like relaxed, no stress, productive fun, British afternoon tea night. I mean, you're on the right. So Karen's in the UK. So I imagine Karen's life just having, she probably doesn't. I just imagine you having afternoon tea every day. I think I would do that. So the getaway is in April. So like she said, day 0 is on April 8th. It's the 9th through the 11th. So 3 days. It's right in the middle of the week. That way we figured people could come early and stay the weekend or stay later. I don't know. For me, whenever I do weekend riding retreats, I'm like always exhausted because like I didn't get a chance to like regroup or like rest after I just go right into work on Monday. And we didn't want anyone to like rush out right away. So anyway, so it's in San Diego. It's in this Hillcrest. It's like right where I live, Hillcrest, Little Italy area. It's all very walkable, like we said. We have a list of hotels once you sign up, and to get to the airport to this area is literally like 2 miles. It's so close. So yeah, so we hope you join us to meet new friends, get some fun food. And remember, the early bird pricing ends soon. I think I put a link in the description. I don't know. And then that's helpful, right? And then you'll get a chance to sign up for a one-on-one critique. So if you want us to critique your writing, you can do that. We can do that in person. We can do that beforehand. That's also at a discounted rate. You'll see that when you sign up. So that, I think, is it. Did anyone have any questions? I know it's a long hour. You're probably like, just stop talking. Just stop talking. Yeah, I put the early bird discount. So the code is early50. So it's 50% off right now.
Okay, good. Yes.
So
yay. Yeah.
All right. Well, we are doing every other Monday, we're going live with just talking about craft things or writing, cozy mystery writing stuff. So we may or may not. So next Monday, we're not going live. Possibly next Wednesday, because next week's a weird week. We'll let you know. We'll know by Monday morning. Yes. We're going live. So as soon as I know, I'll send out an email. Molly will send out an email. We'll post something in the Facebook group so you will know what's happening and when.
Right. Yeah. Well, I know it was a little bit over an hour, but I think it was fun, and I really enjoyed reading all the comments by you all. And thanks, Lisa, for this is fun.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. All right. We hope everyone's having a great start to their 2020.